Hi, I'm Chris Martirano here with our great friends at Sweetwater Sound, and I'm going to be showing you Kurzweil's SP6. Kurzweil's SP6 is a powerful stage piano with hammer-weighted action, 88 keys, 4 zones, 2 gigabytes of very impressive sound memory, and a ton of features built in to a machine that's simple to use, lightweight, 27 pounds, and has all the professional features you'd want, such as balanced outputs, tremendous pianos that'll support half pedaling, sympathetic string resonance. You get the idea. It's a really professional instrument. The SP6 from Kurzweil, now at 27 pounds, is a new record for them. Those of you that are familiar with Kurzweil products know that they've always built very sturdy instruments, but they've been very heavy. So we're excited to announce 27 pounds again in this instrument. I may mention it a few more times. It's a great feature. Some of the sounds include these brand new high-definition pianos, and the sound set, in fact, shares the exact same sound set as Kurzweil's Forte SE. So let's listen to the German 9-foot grand piano. Again, with an optional pedal, you can half pedal for half sustain, damper pedal. There's featuring sympathetic string resonance and damper resonance, and also damper noise. So here's the 9-foot German concert grand. There are many presets based on this actual piano, but I'm going to go to an entirely different piano. This is a 7-foot Japanese grand piano. Very different character. One of the beautiful things about the interface is if I wanted to add some effects, I have 4 knobs that are dedicated to doing specific things. I have 3 rows of menus that show me what these knobs will do, and they're very consistent. For example, on the lower menus, I have effects 1 and 2, and these might be things like chorus or tremolo or distortion, depending on the kind of program you're playing. Then the last 2 knobs are dedicated to delay and reverb. So you always know what these knobs are going to do. The second row will give me some control over filtering and envelopes, such as attack and release. Then finally, the third row will be user assignable parameters. So I can go to my program and decide what parameters I want to control with that third row. The instrument with the 128 voices of polyphony really begs to be layered and split. The layering split functions are very simple to do, and you have up to 4 zones. I'm going to show you a few more of the individual sounds before we jump into layered sounds. Here's one of the electric pianos. This one's really nice. It's a suitcase electric piano. And I have tremolo on the mod wheel and some built-in effects, which I'll zero through as I'm playing. Here's another classic electric piano sound you'll recognize right away. that classic phasing on it. Again, your controls are right here, so if you want to dial down the phasing or you want to actually boost some of the treble, everything has been very nicely programmed into the sounds. Other sounds include the famous KB3. This is the tone wheel organ modeling. And again, with these 3 rows of 4 knobs, you can control all 9 drawbars. So for example, if I want to play the organ and adjust drawbars, very simple. I can just turn the knobs as I'm playing. It's a lot of fun to play this organ. You have overdrive on the mod wheel. You have a lot of expressive things you can do, such as turning on percussion or key click. Very, very authentic. Some of the other sounds include, of course, legendary string recordings that Kurzweil has accumulated over a lifetime of sampling. Here's one of the Arco string programs. Very, very sweet. The sounds are all excellent. There's voices, guitars, all of the sounds that you'd expect that you would need for modern production as well. There's a ton of synthesizer pads, leads, basses. All of these come from physical modeling of analog oscillators. That's all done inside the technology Kurzweil calls VAST, Variable Architecture Synthesis Technology. Let's jump into some splits and layers and hear what you can do when you start combining some of the zones. So I'm going to start with that grand piano they originally started with. I'm going to hit my layer button, and I'm just going to layer this with a nice pad. As soon as I hit the layer button, I'm presented with a pad. In this case, it's a string sound. I'm going to select an alternate one that I like. The local UI provides you control over the sound parameters for the sounds that you're playing and doesn't allow you into the same depth level that the editors will externally. But it's cool that you can do that. Also, you can import sounds directly from Kurzweil's Forte SE. They're completely compatible, so any sounds made on that model can be directly imported. There's also, for you tweak heads, there's 32-bit DACs in the instrument providing crystal clear audio, balanced outputs, and there's also things such as really nice touch as 32 units of effects processing from their award-winning KDFX processing. So ton of stuff in here for the guys that want to tweak. Just get the external editor and you can go crazy. I'll show a few more sounds and then I'll start putting some combinations together. Here's one of the guitar programs. Just a steel string. Here's one of the great guitar sounds. The library, by the way, draws from the PC3 library and the Core 64 as well, which are also renowned and have been released in other instruments such as Kurzweil's PC3 and their Forte series. So let's make a quick split here. I'll just split the grand piano with a bass. I hit my split function, and I'm automatically presented with a bass. I can select a different kind of bass if I like, but in this case, I'll use this one. It's a P bass. A lot of fun, the instrument. Again, with 4 zones and the ability to also control external MIDI gear, you have a lot of power at your fingertips. Speaking of MIDI, you have 2 USB ports on the back, a USB-A and a USB-B port. They allow you to communicate directly with a computer or with a thumb drive where you can save your programs that you've made. If you connect to a computer, you can also use on the computer a virtual drive that'll appear, allowing you to save programs to your computer and then load them back in as well. Also, in terms of control, you can control external gear over USB, but there are dedicated MIDI ports as well. So for your old legacy gear, you can control that as well. Let's look at a few more multis that were created by the factory, and we can explore some of the controls. Right now, I'm going to select one that's really interesting. So this is Kurzweil's SP6. If you have any questions or you need more information, contact your sales engineers at Sweetwater Sound. Also, I'm Chris Martirano. Thanks again for watching.